Petco Park, a new beginning, let's go. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Baby said she wanna go to the game. Taught her how to say Padre gang. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Mitchell and Ness with the old school name. All of the homies holler Padre gang. Yeah, that.
And good day, everybody. Welcome on into the Cubs versus Padres Talking Friars pregame show for May 9th, 2022. I'm your host, Ben Fadden. The Padres host the Cubs starting at 6:40 p.m. Pacific time, the first of three games to finish off this homestand for the San Diego Padres. They are 19-10 coming into this matchup. The Chicago Cubs are 9-18. Hope everyone is doing well. Anyone that's watching live, I appreciate it. Anyone that's watching on replay, I appreciate it. Breaking news right here. Annie Hauerblin just tweeted out, Bob Melvin not feeling well today, still struggling with a bug. Ryan Christensen will manage. So for the second time in this homestand, Bob Melvin is not going to be managing. He didn't manage on, I think, Thursday's game when they got back from Cleveland, and then he's not going to manage today. So there's some breaking news there. Doesn't affect too much. I'd expect that Bob Melvin is going to be in the building just like he was on Thursday, but just dealing a little bit with a stomach issue. That's what it feels like, a little bit of a stomach bug. So hopefully he gets well. Someone who is well now is Jesse Agler, Padres radio play-by-play man. He is back in the radio booth starting tonight. Bob Scanlon had been filling in for him over this past series. He had some family, I think, issues going on, so he actually left in the middle of the Pittsburgh series, if I remember correctly, and then went back to San Diego to deal with some stuff, and he's back today. He announced that on Twitter, so that's great to hear, and he'll be alongside Tony Gwynn Jr. But again, 6:40 p.m. Pacific time is the first pitch on Bally Sports San Diego, 97.3 The Fan. The Padres enter tonight in second place in the National League West. They are a game and a half back of the Dodgers. The Cubs are in fourth place in the National League Central. They are 9 games back already of first place. They are not doing well right now. They've lost 5 games in a row. They just got swept by the Dodgers. They're just – it seemed like this was going to be a year that they were rebuilding, but maybe I guess I wasn't envisioning them to be off to this much of a rocky start. Seiya Suzuki got off to a really hot start the first couple weeks, and then it seems like he's settled down a little bit. Tonight they have Kyle Hendricks on the mound. The Padres have Mckenzie Gore. Kyle Hendricks, remember a few years ago, like he was amazing, one of the best pitchers in baseball. That changeup was working. The velocity wasn't there. It's never really been there, and it still isn't there, but he's just not as effective anymore. Mckenzie Gore, in less starts than Hendricks, has only 1 less strikeout right now. Gore's ERA is at 1.71. He has a 2-0 record. Win-loss record doesn't matter a whole lot, but Hendricks still isn't putting his team in a very great spot to go out and win games. Like right now, the last 2 starts, he's allowed 5 home runs and 10 combined runs. So it's not like this is a case where the win-loss record isn't really doing anything or means anything. It does kind of mean something. He's just really not pitching well, and it's hard for you to win when that's happening. It's the same thing with the offense, right? And we've seen that with the Padres this last weekend with Miami, right? The pitchers pitched well, starting pitchers pitched well. All 4 of them had quality starts, but then the offense didn't score a whole lot of runs. So like on Saturday, I know it was 8-0, but it wasn't that bad of a pitching performance. It was the bullpen more that blew it, and the offense didn't score any runs. You don't score any runs, you're not going to win any games, obviously. So that's the pitching matchup, Kyle Hendricks against Mckenzie Gore. Gore has not allowed more than 2 runs in any start this year. He's allowed 4 less home runs than this whole season than the total amount of home runs that Kyle Hendricks has allowed in those past 2 starts, which is 5. Last time out, Gore, he had to pitch to contact in Cleveland because he wasn't getting the strikeouts. I think he had 2. But he still went into the 6th inning and allowed only 1 earned run. Now, Will he be able to get through 6 this time? Not just pitch into the 6th inning, but will he be able to get through 6? I think that's one of my what to watch for today, because he has not been able to do that yet. The bullpen's pretty rested. We'll get to that. But before that, just a little bit of Padre notes. Obviously, they took 3 out of 4, against the Marlins after Jorge Alfaro's walk-off home run yesterday. I have a breakdown on that that's available on this very YouTube channel, so I encourage you to watch that. Check that out after this pregame show is over. I discussed the whole Miami series on episode 159, which is already out. It's on YouTube. It's on the podcast platforms as well. So I encourage you to watch or listen to that when you have some free time if you have not tuned into that yet. And like I mentioned, the Cubs have lost 5 in a row. Tony Gwynn's birthday is today, May 9th, 2022. He would have turned 62 years old. Dr. Alicia Gwynn, his widow, is going to be throwing out the first pitch tonight. Tony Gwynn Jr., obviously Tony and Alicia's son, will be catching the first pitch. And then Alicia's daughter, will be singing the national anthem. So pretty cool what the Padres are doing there with the Gwynn family. There will be a Padres Tony Gwynn jersey, 1984 throwback jersey giveaway that's going to be handed out tonight to the fans. I'm kind of jealous for anyone going. I wish I had one of those. Maybe I'll be able to get one of those if not all of them are sold out. Not if if there's some available. Padres players have been wearing that jersey the last few days during BP, kind of honoring Tony. So that's really cool that we've seen. And then today, I really like what the Padres did. They announced the creation of the Tony Gwynn Community All-Star Program, which will award 4 $5,000 grants to those that are 18 years old or younger who contribute to local nonprofit organizations. So pretty much doing what Tony did as a Padre in the community, just being really nice, spending a lot of time with fans, and they're putting this money towards the young kids 18 years or younger, according to what the Padres put out on their website today and what they tweeted out on social media. So really good job out of them. The Padres also earlier today, they claimed Diamondbacks infielder Sergio Alcantara off of waivers. Pierce Johnson was transferred from the 10-day to the 60-day IL due to a forearm issue. Matt Beatty, who got hurt that left shoulder on a dive on Saturday, he is now on the 10-day IL with a left shoulder impingement. So that maybe delays his or the Padres' timetable to make a decision on him if they're going to DFA him or send him down. I don't think he has any other options, so I think it would be a DFA, or a trade or something. So at least I guess that decision's delayed now. With Alcantara, I mean, he's pretty much like C.J. Abrams. He plays second. He can play short. I think he's played third a little bit. He's pinch run. But power is not his thing, and he hasn't done great offensively. When you look at the numbers this year, he's 25 years old. He was designated for assignment on May 6th. He has a negative .6 WAR so far this year, according to Baseball Reference. He's batting 186. League average OPS plus is 100. It's 51 for him. So just not good. Pretty much like CJ. And so my thoughts on this is, are they claiming him just as minor league depth, or are they claiming him, putting him on the roster, and then sending CJ down so CJ can get extra at-bats, daily at-bats, which is not what he's getting right now. He's not getting at-bats. He's not getting a ton of playing time because Ha-Seong Kim's playing better than him. They've only played him in the outfield, I think, twice this season. They played him one time in spring training, so maybe they sent him down not just to get more at-bats and consistent playing time, not just in the infield, but they do it so that he can get some more outfield reps as well, because it doesn't seem like he's doing that right now, at least in games, right? Those are going to Beatty before he got hurt, going to Zokar, going to Thompson, going to Grisham, right? They're not giving it to Abrams. It'll be one thing if he was hitting, but they're not even trying that because he hasn't been hitting. Right now, Abrams, he hit that one home run on April 14th in the Padres home opener, which is probably their best overall game this entire year. He hasn't hit one since. He's hitting 182, a 65 OPS plus. So that's actually even better than Alcantara. But Alcantara spent some time the last couple of years with the Cubs, the Tigers, now with the Diamondbacks, has not played a full season, hasn't gotten a ton of playing time. So I'm kind of confused on what this move is. It just seems like a depth option, and he seems kind of like what CJ is right now. So it feels like maybe Abrams does get sent down, and maybe they bring him up when Tatis gets back, and they put Abrams in the outfield. Just if they send him down, you just give him some more at bats, consistent playing time, which he's not getting right now. Alcantara, he's not going to be a big starter on this team. It doesn't seem like. So maybe they bring him up at some point, have him as a bench piece, which is what CJ's doing. The Padres envision CJ as being a starting piece eventually, whether that's in the outfield or at second base if they can trade Hosmer or if something happens, right? They don't view that with Alcantara. So maybe they just use Alcantara as a depth option like he's always going to be for however long he's going to be with the Padres, and they give CJ that starting time in the minors. Personally, that feels like what I would do if I was in this situation of AJ and Bob and the coaching staff, but I'm not them, so obviously I don't know what's going to happen there. But if anything does come down during the show, I definitely will relay that to you and give my reaction. I'm just checking Twitter here real quick. AJ Cassavell says, Bob Melvin dealing with a gastrointestinal issue, won't manage tonight's game. He could miss at least a few games, according to the Athletics' Dennis Lin. Ryan Christensen's going for 2-0 as a Padre manager now tonight. Remember, they won on Thursday against the Marlins. That was when Manny, I think, hit 2 bombs that night, if I remember correctly. Eric says, what's the over-under that Christensen gets tossed tonight? What do you mean? It only takes one. You get tossed once. That's what it is. I don't really understand that question, but I don't think he gets tossed. He doesn't seem like a big. He's an intense guy, it seems like, but it doesn't seem like he's someone that wants to get. It just goes and looks to get thrown out. So I don't really understand what that question is, but I don't think he's going to get thrown out today to answer that. Let's see. We went through the pitching matchup. Let's look at the bullpen situation for tonight, huh? Oh, hold on one second. Let me pull it up. The bullpen's in pretty good shape. They had one guy pitch yesterday, and that was Robert Suarez. So here's the bullpen chart. Taylor Rogers hasn't pitched in 3 days, or 3 days rest. Garcia, 3 days rest. Wilson, 2 days rest. So their top 3 relievers are good for today. They're probably good for today and tomorrow, and maybe that third day before an off day on Thursday, keeping that in mind. So they might be able to do that. And then everyone else besides Suarez is probably available today. Maybe not Ray Kerr because he did back-to-back 14 pitch days on Friday and Saturday. But the big key here with Mckenzie Gore on the mound, let's say he goes into the into the 6th, like he's been in every start. You can bring in Wilson. I mean, if you want to do it if you want a middle of the inning, I know Stammen comes in the middle of innings sometimes. I know some people, probably listening or watching right now, they're like, Ben, don't do that. We're not bringing in Stammen. Well, if you want 7, 8, 9, and you want these 3 guys, Rogers, Garcia, and Wilson, to pitch the 7, 8, and 9th, assuming you have a lead, which I guess you can't assume because of the offense right now, but assuming you have a lead, you want 7, 8, 9, 1 inning apiece, you got to have someone finish the 6th if Gore doesn't go through 6. And I think Stanwood would be the most likeliest guy. He hasn't pitched. He's had 4 days off. Lamet, you can't trust him. We saw that in his last appearance. I mean, I'd be surprised if he's on the roster come the trade deadline, to be honest. Kerr, he's probably down. Suarez is down. Chris Matt, a long man. So I think Stammen would probably finish the 6th inning. That would be my gut instinct right now. But I'm not the manager, so we'll see. All right. As for the lineups for today, Hendricks and Gore, the pitching matchup. The Cubs have not released their lineup as of now. So for the Padres, a little bit of a change here. It was Cronenworth and then Kim and then Manny and Haas. But Kim is now slid down to the 5th spot. Nola DHing. And then Azokar in right. Grisham's still in there, so no Trace Thompson in the lineup tonight. No C.J. Abrams. And, yeah, those are kind of my major takeaways just off the bat. Cronenworth leading off. Profar hitting second out in left field. Manny at third, batting third. Haas hitting fourth. Kim hitting fifth. Alfaro hitting sixth. Grish hitting seventh. Nola eighth, DHing. And then Azokar in right field hitting ninth. I believe Gore has been caught by Alfaro like every start, so that's not surprising that he's catching tonight. But still having Jake in the leadoff spot. They can't really figure out a leadoff hitter right now. Nola has kind of crashed back to earth after putting a lot of balls in play. He's been striking out, looking pretty at a decent rate right now, which is not good news. Grisham, he's just going to have to stick him at the bottom of the order. I mean, I would just put him ninth at this point and not even put him seventh. Like, just put him ninth and hopefully gives you a good at-bat. Azokar has put together good at-bats as well, though, so maybe that's what they're doing there. And you have, instead of left, 9-1 spots, you have a righty in Azokar and then a lefty in Cronenworth and then a switch hitter. And because Hendricks is a righty, Profar's a left. So you got back-to-back lefties, right, left, right, left, right. So that's how the lineup is. Not a whole lot of takeaways except pretty much the swap of Profar and Kim in the 2 and 5 holes. I don't know really what to make of that, except you just don't want to bunch together two lefties there. But then you have two lefties in Cronenworth and Profar. So I don't know. But that's the lineup for tonight for the Padres against the Chicago Cubs. As for my what to watch for tonight, the Padres, well, they have a hangover off of yesterday. And I don't mean like a hangover like they were drunk, even though we've kind of seen that with the beer pong after that Dodger walk-off. But there was a lot of excitement in that ninth inning. And I guess what I'm saying is, will they be able to carry that over to today, at the start of the game, out of the gate? I mean, in the Marlins series, that did not happen, right? Manny had those 2 home runs in the first game, so I guess you could say there, Hosmer, that double in the gap there. So I guess you could say that. But I mean like 3-4 runs in the first 4 innings, right? That didn't happen. So I mean they didn't score 4 runs in one game in the series at all, right? So that's what I'm looking for. Can they carry that momentum of the ninth inning, those last few batters, into the beginning of tonight's game against a guy in Kyle Hendricks who is not going to blow people away in terms of velocity. He's just not. And then will Gore be able to get through 6? I touched on that earlier. He hasn't done that yet. Is it a good opportunity for him to do that? Yeah, I think so. I mean, Seiya Suzuki, yeah, you got to worry about him. But, I mean, this Cubs lineup has guys like Ian Happ. I guess you can worry about him. But Wilson Contreras isn't really the guy he used to be. Nico Horner, Patrick Wisdom. I mean, they still have Jason Hayward on the team. Jan Gomes might get some at-bats. I mean, it's not a lineup to fear. So I think it is a good opportunity for him to get through 6. But one guy was used in the bullpen yesterday, so pretty much everyone's available. And he got 3 days, including tonight, in a row, and then he got an off day Thursday. So I think all guys are going to be ready tonight, and you'll just see where you go from there. You got Clev, I believe, starting tomorrow, and then Martinez the next day. And Clev went 95 pitches the first start, and he's probably going to build off that. So maybe you won't need, Stammen tomorrow. And even if you would need him, you have Chris Matt if you don't pitch him tonight. So maybe he doesn't get through 6, but definitely into the 6 is what he needs to do. If I were the Padres coaching staff and what I would want, going into tonight. All right. My Padre pick. I'm going to go with Manny again tonight, back-to-back. Last night, I went with Manny. He went 2 for 4, so I'm 18-10 so far this season in my pregame show Padre pick. 1 win less than the Padres. They're 19-10, but I'm 18-10 because I picked Hosmer one day. He did not have an official at-bat, so that didn't count. So I'm 18-10 so far. Today I'm going Manny. I know it's a righty on righty, but Hendricks doesn't throw hard, and Manny's hitting 444 off him in 9 at-bats in his career. And he's the hottest Padre hitter, so that seems like the easy pick. I know Eric likes to get on me with those easy picks in the chat, and he'll probably put that comment in there soon. But I don't care. That's who I'm going with today. MLB News and Notes. Dodgers are already in action against the Pittsburgh Pirates. That seems like they're going to sweep them this series. I know that just started. The series did, but Pirates suck. As for the rest of the division, Diamondbacks host the Marlins. So the Marlins are coming from San Diego to Arizona. And then an interdivision interdivision matchup. The Rockies in San Francisco to play the San Francisco Giants. That game gets started 5 minutes after the Padres are scheduled to get underway tonight. So the Giants play at 6:45, Padres at 6:40. Some other notable matchups, maybe a sneaky good matchup, Phillies and Mariners, Angels, Rays. Other than that, Yankees already played today. Nestor Cortez was really good. He went 7 1/3 no-hit innings. I was a little surprised that they put him out for the 8th, but once they put Cortez out for the 8th, I was watching this live while I was having some lunch, and once they put him out there for the 8th, they were going to let him finish the game if he threw a no-hitter. Because the Yankees did end up scoring a run in that bottom of the 8th. That was the question. Going into the 8th inning, Yankees-Rangers, it was 0-0. Cortez hadn't given up a hit. He'd walked 4, so that pitch count was up. So I guess that was the question. But they sent him out there for the 8th. He got the first out, and then he allowed a single to center. That was it. But when you let someone go 8, you put him out there for the 8th. If he doesn't give up a hit, you're going to put him out there for the 9th. He's 3 outs away. You don't pull him, right? Now, he gave up a hit, so it didn't end up mattering. And Anthony Rizzo came through. So a really good start out on Nestor Cortez. He's probably one of the best, or he's one of the front runners for AL Cy Young right now. Breaking news, the Padres just tweeted they have signed outfielder Shogo Akiyama to a minor league contract and assigned him to AAA El Paso. And he's kind of like a Zokar, not great offensively. That was a total bust of a contract by the Cincinnati Reds that they gave Akiyama. I think it was like the same as Profar. I think it was like three for $21 million, and that didn't work out. The Akiyama news came down. I think it came down weeks ago, did it not? Maybe they officially signed him? Yeah, 8 days ago. It was reported that the Padres agreed to a minor league deal with Akiyama. The club didn't announce the signing, and so they announced it today of Akiyama being signed to a minor league contract and him going to El Paso. I can look up some stats real quick of Akiyama. First, just looking back at who he was, it seems like an Azokar. He, in his career, he has a 57 OPS plus, 100 is league average, on base percentage a little over 300. You like to have that up. He hit 224, a negative 0.3 cumulative WAR. So he's not going to – it doesn't seem like he's going to have this huge impact, but it seems like a low risk move and just a depth option. And if there's no production at all of this offense, I'm not saying that he's going to do anything, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to give him a try. But he seems like a Nomar Mazara in terms of not power, obviously, but someone that they're just going to stockpile down into AAA, and if something happens, they can bring him up as a bench defensive first option. So that just came down. Akiyama officially signed by the Padres to a minor league deal going to AAA El Paso. I believe Manny Machado, Marty Caswell just tweeted that Manny is displaying the jersey the Padres will be wearing tonight, or they're giving away tonight, excuse me. Let me look that up real quick. It's a sweet jersey. Yeah, here it is. Let me share my screen for you. Here it is. So this is the jersey right here that the Padres are giving away. The 84 jersey. It's a sweet giveaway. I wish I was at this game. This is a sweet giveaway. Doesn't look like anyone else is wearing it right now, but other players were wearing it all weekend long against the Marlins. Musgrove was wearing it. There were pictures out on social media of that. So that's cool. Again, pretty much Tony Gwynn night tonight. It would have been his 62nd birthday. Alicia Gwynn, Tony Gwynn Jr., Anisha Gwynn, they'll all be there participating in pregame festivities. So that's going to be really cool and a night of celebration. And hopefully the Padres can put an exclamation point on tonight and the celebration with a win. So that'll do it for the pregame show. May 9th, 2022, Padres and the Cubs get underway at 6:40 p.m. Pacific time on Bally Sports San Diego and 97.3 The Fan. Don went on the call on TV, and Jesse Agler is back on the radio with Tony Gwynn Jr. All right, Ben Fadden signing off. I'll see you later with post-game reaction, and I'll be clipping up highlights as usual during the game, and it'll be up on the Twitter at Talking Friars and the main plays on Instagram and TikTok. All right, everyone, enjoy the game. See ya.